Hey, thanks for joining me in this video. I know it's a little unconventional because we're not having a formal lesson, but this is something very important that I've been wanting to talk to you about for a long time. Now, I'm not going to be following a script or anything like that, so this is me talking directly to you about this. So if you'll bear with me and just give me a few minutes of your time, I think you'll appreciate this conversation we're about to have. Now, I've been very blessed the past several years to be able to teach thousands and thousands of guitar players online, and I've gotten to witness their victories and their accomplishments and their wins, in their process of learning. But at the same time, I've seen a lot of the challenges and difficulties and sometimes even pain that comes along with it. And there's one thing in particular I've noticed that's very common among guitar players, regardless of what level they're at. They can be complete beginners or they can be, pro level expert players. They all seem to kind of have this problem. And this is one of the most toxic, demotivating things that you could possibly do to yourself as a musician. I'm sure you're dying by now to know what it is. And let me tell you, it's the spirit of comparison. Seriously, comparison, in my opinion, is one of the worst, most unproductive principles you can have as a guitar player, much less a musician. So what am I talking about? What exactly is the spirit of comparison? Well, I've noticed that it shows up in two types of ways. The first way is we compare ourselves to every guitar player around us, right? Whether it's our buddy who maybe picked up guitar a few years before we did, or it's with our favorite guitar player in the world, right? We just tend to compare ourselves with any other guitar player that we see. And the other way is that we take all the guitar players besides ourselves, right? And we compare them against each other, right? Where it's like, oh, I think Eddie Van Halen's better than Eric Clapton, or I think this guy's better than this team, that, right? All of these ways that we compare ourselves and other guitar players with each other, I have not once seen anything good or positive come out of it. What I see are lengthy common threads of people debating about whether this guitar player is better than this guitar player, when at the end of the day, we all know taste is subjective, right? Certain people will prefer Tommy Emmanuel over Yngwie Malmsteen, right? And that's perfectly okay. And some people may prefer Yngwie over Tommy. That's also perfectly okay. Because guess what? At the end of the day, music is happening. That's the most important thing, right? If you've seen that video of Eddie Van Halen himself talking about, right? It's all there is. Music, man. Keep playing, right? There could not be a simpler yet more powerful message that any guitar player or musician can benefit from. And when we compare ourselves to other guitar players, it's even worse, because it's completely hindering our own progress, which, by the way, no one else is responsible for your progress other than you. Nobody's more responsible for my progress other than me. I'm not going to expect you or any other guitar player, whether I love them or know them or whatever, none of them are going to take my journey on for themselves. They got their own journeys, right? You got your own journey. We need to focus on that. We are 100% at the helm, right, of our trajectory as guitar players. And we need to consider that a very powerful responsibility. It all comes down to us. It's the easy way out to just think, oh, that guy's too good or that girl's too good of a player. There's no way I'm going to be that good. Don't think like that. What do you think that's going to give you other than just, disappointment and just mental turmoil? You don't want that. That's not what playing guitar is all about, right? That's why Eddie says to keep playing. Like, just don't stop, regardless of how you're feeling in the moment, right? You want to think of guitar not as just a commitment to an inanimate object, but it's a commitment to yourself, really. And I'm not going to get all deep and Tony Robbins on you. I'm just telling you, this is just really how I think of the whole thing. And when we compare other guitar players, you're not going to convince somebody who thinks Eric Clapton is the best guitar player in the world that somehow Steve Vai should, hold that spot instead of Eric Clapton, right? But there's no point, because it doesn't matter. If you ask me, my personal opinion, I don't think there's such a thing as a best guitar player in the world. Simply because, going back to that taste is subjective kind of thing. You can have your favorites, you can have your pantheon of favorite guitar players, right, that nobody can touch, and it's all ours, right? No one else needs to offer an opinion that would challenge that, because we know what we like, right? And what we like is okay, and what other people like is okay. There's really no need to compare. Okay? Because we all like to look at the guitar players through our own lenses, right? Somebody who loves Eddie Van Halen looks at Eddie's playing through a certain lens, and in a way reflects kind of what they see for themselves, what they value as guitar players. Eddie has done. right? Or if someone else wants to look at David Gilmour and they're like, I love David Gilmour because he's not a flashy player. He's very tasteful and he's soulful and he's smooth and he's got great tone in his fingers and all that stuff, right? Because you're looking at David Gilmour from the lens of what you value as a guitar player. And both of those are right. Both are correct. Both are good. As long as at the end of the day, it's inspiring you to keep moving forward. Because there's only one person in the entire world that you should compare yourself to, and that's yourself. Who you were yesterday, right? That's the only productive comparison you can possibly make. When you understand that, then you can start taking steps every single day to get you closer to where you want to be as a guitar player. You know that old phrase, you want to go to bed a little wiser every day? It's the same idea, right? Just get a little bit smarter at guitar every day. It may not be much, it may not even be a huge noticeable amount, but it's still progress. And it's a lot more progress that you would get than if you were to otherwise compare yourself to another guitar player in a way that discourages you, makes you not want to practice, makes you not even want to pick up the darn thing, and next thing you know, everything that you've worked for up until that point is just going to fade away. You don't want that. And comparing other guitar players is just as counterproductive. If you like who you like, and someone else on some message board likes who they like, just respect that. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Why spend your time debating on which guitar player is better based on your lens, right? If you're dealing with someone who doesn't have the same lens as you, much less wasting time arguing and not actually playing guitar. I'm giving you a little bit of tough love right now, but I swear it's because I care about this. So if there's one thing I want you to take away from this rant, which if you made it this far into the video, God bless you, I appreciate you, is I want you to stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other guitar players. Stop comparing other guitar players with other guitar players. Only thing you need to be comparing yourself with is yourself, right? When you do that, you're going to immediately quiet all that extra noise going on in your head that's preventing you from moving forward with your guitar playing, right? It's going to make you more focused. You're going to be practicing more. You're going to be spending more time, and you're ultimately going to be reaching your goals much faster than if you just would continue to dwell on these comparisons. I'm telling you, that's all you got to do. Just stop comparing and stop doing it right now. Now that we can say out with comparison, we can say in with progress. There's something I want to give you that will specifically help you with that. It's a free 30-second survey to find out what your #1 guitar progress killer is. This is going to tell you exactly what it is that's holding you back and what you have to do to bust through it forever so it's only onward and upward from here as guitar players. Are you with me? Click right here to take that quiz or check the link in the description box. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, and be sure to check out some of our other relevant lessons right over here. I want to thank you for hanging out with me today, even if it was to listen to the ramblings of a crazy but passionate guitar player. I'm Eddie with Guitar Mastery Method, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.